At a voting site in Orangeville, South Carolina, that man is being told to remove his Trump hat. You bitch, he said. Actually, it's the law. In South Carolina, voters are not allowed to wear anything that displays a political party, candidate name, or ballot issue.
Wow.
This is my motherfucker.
Wow.
Why is it defending me? It's like defending me. All right, then shut the hell up and let me vote.
Okay, we ain't got nothing else to say. We ain't got nothing else to say.
As the polling supervisor says next in line, the MAGA moron throws his hat.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Then, after being told to leave, he pokes the supervisor with his finger, and she slaps him back.
Oh. Wow. Wow.
That woman calls 911 as the scuffle continues.
Wow. 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 I'm not going to help with him. You may want to help with him.
According to eyewitnesses, Orangeburg County, South Carolina police arrived minutes later. Local prosecutors are reportedly trying to decide whether to bring criminal charges against the MAGA man. Across the United States and MAGA world, anxieties and rage have reached a fever pitch because there are now growing indications that Kamala Harris is going to beat Donald Trump. And the key difference will be women. In nearly every poll, women support Harris over Trump by 16 or 17 points. And while the Trump advantage with men is close to that, men are voting in lower numbers. And so the share of women in this election is on track to set a record. In 2020, women voters outnumbered men 54% to 46%. In Pennsylvania and several battleground states this year, the early vote shows women outvoting men 57% to 43%. Donald Trump did not help himself the other night by saying he was going to take care of women, whether they liked it or not. Trump's creepy and misogynistic language has now prompted a Democratic group to turn this ad.
I'm so happy. I'm going to be a daddy. And I got Donald Trump to thank for that. See, in here, they call me a sexual predator. But that don't matter. Because Donald Trump understands people like me. Thanks to him and his Supreme Court judges, she's got to carry my baby for the next 9 months, whether she likes it or not.
That spot will undoubtedly drive Trump conservative men crazy. Another political commercial already has. It is voiced by Hollywood actress Julia Roberts.
Your turn, honey.
In the one place in America where women still have a right to choose. You can vote any way you want. And no one will ever know.
Did you make the right choice?
Sure did, honey.
Remember, what happens in the booth stays in the booth. Vote Harris Walls. Vote Common Good is responsible for the contents of this ad.
That commercial is literally causing Trump surrogate Charlie Kirk to melt down. Here is Kirk on the Megyn Kelly podcast.
He needs people to basically lie to their husbands, which they are promoting, by the way. It is the embodiment of the downfall of the American family. I think it's so gross. I think it's so just nauseating where this wife is wearing you'll show it, wearing the American hat. She's coming in with her sweet husband who probably works his tail off to make sure that she can go, and have a nice life and provides for the family. And then she lies to him saying, oh yeah, I'm going to vote for Trump. And then she votes for Kamala Harris as her little secret in the voting booth.
Yes, there are still men out there who think women never fake anything. But that's not even the biggest problem facing Charlie Kirk in all of this. He says the scenario is nauseating because the husband probably works his tail off so the wife can go and have a nice life. Charlie, I've got some more news for you. Most women work just as hard, if not harder, than men, whether the women earn a wage or not. And for you to assume that a man provides for his family and that the wife is some kind of freeloader or dependent on a man is beyond sexist. But sexism, misogyny, and patriarchy run rampant in Trump MAGA world. And never mind Trump surrogate Charlie Kirk, Trump cheerleader Jesse Waters had a meltdown on the Fox show The Five as he imagined his own wife thinking for herself.
And if I found out Emma was going into the voting booth and pulling the lever for Harris, that's the same thing as having an affair. That violates the sanctity of our marriage.
Yes.
What else is she keeping from me?
Exactly.
What else has she been lying about?
Why would she lie to you? Have you threatened her? Why would she lie to you?
Oh, they want me to tease.
Why would she do that and then vote Harris? Why would she say she was voting
He's
Trump
not the problem,
and then voting Harris? And I caught her, and then she said, I lied to you for the last 4 years.
Admit you intimidate
It's over, Emma.
Hey, Emma, if Jesse Waters at home is even a fraction of what he's like on television, you should dump him. He's a loser, and you deserve better. Newt Gingrich's latest wife should follow suit.
What kind of a totally amoral, corrupt, sick system have the Democrats developed? The party of John F. Kennedy, the party of Robert Kennedy, it's gone. I mean, instead of having dignity and patriotism and a sense of morality, these are really sick people. And the more you watch them, to say, oh, why don't you lie to your husband as a publicly advocated ad, that is sick.
Oh.
Nobody is saying to lie. The ad is saying women should be able to make their own voting choice. And if keeping that choice a secret from your husband avoids an argument or a point of contention, that's fine. In America, there is no requirement that any couple share political views. But this kind of civic independence freaks out MAGA men. And the real sickness and corruption, to borrow Newt Gingrich's phrases, are the MAGA expectations that women always obey their husbands, even in the voting booth. To be clear, I'm sure there are some MAGA men who have no problem with their wives or girlfriends voting for Kamala Harris, but I'm also sure there are some MAGA men who would flip out. And that's the larger point. Across MAGA world, a lot of men are freaking out at the prospect of women making their own voting decisions and electing Kamala Harris the next president of the United States. Most men don't see anything wrong with Trump's Supreme Court justices rolling back reproductive rights. A lot of MAGA men think there's nothing wrong with Donald Trump's coarse language, unsophisticated thinking, and dark threats. On Trump's pledge to take care of women, whether they like it or not, here's Kamala Harris.
It actually is, I think, very offensive to women in terms of not understanding their agency, their authority, their right, and their ability to make decisions about their own lives, including their own bodies. And this is just the latest on a series of reveals by the former president of how he thinks about women and their agency. Whether he has said, as he has, that women should be punished for their choices, whether he has talked about his pride in taking away a fundamental right from women, whether it be how he has actually created a situation in America where now 1 in 3 women lives in a Trump abortion ban state.
One of those states is South Carolina, which takes us back to the video we started this with, the MAGA man who went nuts when he was told to take off his Trump hat in a voting location. It's not clear if that man is married, has a girlfriend or a family, and perhaps he does not agree with the Republican policy restrictions on women. But I am certain his rage against the law that prohibits wearing a political hat in a voting precinct is nothing compared to the anger many women and men feel about restrictions to reproductive freedom. Being forced to take off your MAGA hat in a voting location is small potatoes compared to being forced to carry a rapist pregnancy to term or being told, too bad your fetus is fatally diseased, you must keep your pregnancy going. But a lot of MAGA men just don't get it. And so, in a few days, they are going to go even more berserk because Kamala Harris is going to win this election and become the next president of the United States. Harris will win largely thanks to women who spoke out for freedom and fairness, saved our democracy, and said the awful patriarchy that Trump MAGA world stands for must end. By the way, a MAGA teen in Florida has been arrested after waving a weapon at Democratic voters.
To say your piece is your First Amendment protected right, but that goes out the window the moment you raise a machete over your head in a threatening manner.
Yes, a machete. Neptune Beach, Florida police say they arrested 18-year-old Caleb Williams waving that 18-inch blade. Police allege he was threatening Democratic voters walking into an early voting site.
Mr. Williams decided to brandish that machete over his head at two female victims, ages 71 and 54 years of age, which were in fear at that point, had called the police, and we arrived less than 1 minute later.
This is Mr. Williams' mugshot. Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular is from Linda, who wrote, "This kid is an idiot. Typical MAGA brat. He is ignorant, foolish, spoiled, and undisciplined. Actually a lot like Trump." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about the MAGA moron in South Carolina who was asked to take off his political hat while voting and assaulted a woman volunteer. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.